Alright, for today's video and for the next few videos, we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Generation Selects GoBots Guardians 3-pack. And yeah, this is a pretty cool little set here. This is continuing on our homage to the eHobby GoBots, which if you're unfamiliar, basically when Hasbro acquired Tonka and therefore technically now has the rights to all of the GoBots names, eHobby put out a little set a while ago that was a bunch of repaints of some of the G1 minibots into GoBots characters, and like only kind of insofar that they basically turn into the same things, but the colors aren't all the same. They're, it's basically just like an homage to the set rather than being a hardcore homage to the actual GoBots characters. Because, there's things like Bugbite was white, even though the original GoBots Bugbite toy was just a regular yellow bug. Treds had a Decepticon logo, even though originally, Treds was a Guardian, which were the good guys. And they have kind of rectified that by, in the lore for this set, saying that Treds is undercover. So like Treds is a Guardian and is actually a good guy, but is wearing a Decepticon logo to be undercover. I don't care, really. I mean, I like it as an homage to the eHobby set, and there were some comics that kind of, basically had all 6 of these guys like on the same team, and they were like infiltrators from another universe, like from the GoBot universe, basically, that, where their planet had been destroyed or something like that. I don't know. And they came on and half of them took on Decepticon disguises and half of them took on Autobot disguises. But whatever, I don't really care how it all works out at the end of the day. But, I like that they're continuing this trend, because we have for a while, kind of had the pieces to put this together. Like we got Bugbite from, must have been Generation Selects like a while ago, a few years ago, and then we got Road Ranger as a part of the Golden Disc collection. So it's nice for them to actually put out a 3-pack of them and then catch up a little bit. Now we're just missing one. We're just missing Bad Boy. He was the repaint of Power Glide, so obviously we don't have a new Power Glide mold yet to turn him into. So I'm sure we'll get a new version of Power Glide down the road eventually, and then hopefully they'll give us a new version of Bad Boy. And then I guess there were a few other ones that like came out afterwards. I'm only really kind of interested in the main 6 that came in that original eHobby pack, but whatever. Enough rambling out of me. We're going to split these guys up into a few different videos, so for today's video, we're just going to be taking a look at Treds, who, of course, is a repaint of Kingdom Warpath. And, yeah, we've had the Kingdom Warpath mold for a while. I was kind of surprised that they hadn't done Treds sooner, since they did Bugbite and Road Ranger. But, yeah, pretty cool figure. I do think that this looks pretty good in green. Obviously, like, much more of a traditional military tank there than Warpath's, like, dark red color. I've never been the biggest fan of this mold in general, but it's definitely grown on me a little bit. It's just not my favorite of the updated minibot molds. But yeah, no, I mean, gets the job done, looks pretty good. He does have the articulated turret there, and then the gun itself can kind of fold up and down. He's got little rolling wheels here. It still kind of bugs me that the Treds just kind of don't continue all the way through. Yeah, it just, I don't know. That's mostly a me thing, but I don't know. I don't expect them to actually, tread, but having them actually, be the width that they're supposed to be all the way around, especially since it's visible from the back, I don't know. It always bugged me. It's a nitpick, but whatever. But yeah, in terms of comparisons in this mode, just for a standard one, here he is with Kingdom Sideswipe. Here he is with Kingdom Warpath, of course. So you can see what the two of them look like together, sharing a mold there. And yeah, I mean, one's red, one's green, but they both look good. I obviously don't have the set of eHobby GoBots to show him off with, but I do have a G1 Warpath, since that was the mold that the eHobby Treds used. So you can see what the two of them look like together. And then to bring these two back on, I will also bring on Bugbite and Road Ranger, so you can see the 5 that we have so far. Again, just missing Bad Boy, and yeah, my Bugbite has a bunch of stickers on him to make him look like the classics repaint one, just because I think it looks a little bit more interesting. But yeah, that's what the 5 of them look like together. Pretty good looking set so far. But yeah, to get on to transformation, obviously it's exactly the same as Kingdom Warpath. He's got no new molded parts on him at all, not even a head sculpt, which is valid, since like the G1 Warpath design was fairly similar to the G1 toy design anyway. And yes, it still does do the parts forming thing where you have to take this one little panel off. And yeah, I dislike this, but yeah, it has less to do with the parts forming and more to do with the fact that I don't think it looks very good for where it stores in robot mode. But yeah, you do take that and put that off to the side. And you want to untab these sections here. It's funny, I think I actually didn't do an actual review of Kingdom Warpath. That was just kind of when I was starting to get off of just reviewing bots and go on to like other stuff. So I wasn't consistently reviewing everything that came out. So it's actually my first time checking out this mold on the channel, believe it or not. Then you want to take these sections and kind of untab them there, and then take these panels, fold them up like that, take the inner leg and it will fold up and kind of click into place there. Then you can fold this whole section out, take this whole section and fold it in like that, and then take this panel and it will fold up and sit on that. Kind of a puzzly leg transformation there, but you know, it's fairly intuitive once you know what you're doing. It's just a couple weird sections there. And then this section, which thankfully is not too difficult to go from vehicle mode to robot mode. But I guess before you want to do this, you want to open up this hatch, then flip out the robot mode head and close this back up, and then you can compress the tank barrel there. And you just want to push in this little panel and then fold this whole section down. This is a real pain to get back into alt mode because it's like you don't really have a good place to grab it, and this doesn't like really pull. So you basically have to kind of like unhinge it a little bit so you can get this panel. So it's not too terrible, but you do kind of have to like pop it off of its hinge slightly to actually make that happen, which is annoying, but whatever. And then fold this section up so it clicks into the back there. And then last but not least, kind of take these sections of the treads and just fold them in on themselves there, which again, you know, I'd kind of rather they just have been complete treads and just stay out like that, but whatever, that, you know, that's how the mold works. And yeah, there you have Treds in his robot mode. And yeah, I think that this color scheme really suits him. I like how well the red eyes pop there on the green. That's a really nice kind of like dark forest green as well. Something I'm noticing right now is like it kind of feels like this panel is like a slightly different color than the rest of it. Like, I don't know if that shows up on camera at all. No, not really. Also kind of the cod piece here, but like just specifically this one, I don't know. Maybe it's like we're already seeing some like sun, or not sun damage, but humidity damage type stuff going in effect there. What's going on there? There we go. But it's really subtle. It's not too big a deal, but I just hope that doesn't get any worse. And then, of course, you can take this panel. You can have him hold it as a shield, which looks stupid because it's like basically the size of his forearm. And then you could peg it onto the back, but you either have to kind of like peg it straight up like this, so he has this ugly panel behind his head, or rotate it to the side, which makes him a little bit asymmetrical. I've never really liked the way that panel worked, but this is, in my opinion, the best way to do it. I wish that it just like had a hinge here or something so you could just fold it flat on the back, but whatever. But yeah, he doesn't come with any weapons or anything like that. I guess they just figured either the shield or the cannon on his chest was enough. It's kind of surprising for modern figures for them to not come with extra weapons, but it was probably going to be something that wouldn't have stored anywhere anyway, so it doesn't really bother me, but worth mentioning. In terms of articulation, the head is on a ball joint, can rotate around like that, kind of wiggle around a little bit. He's got universal shoulders, which can rotate around like that and fold out to the side. Bicep swivels, about 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. Wrist swivels. It's got a waist joint here that does kind of bump into all the stuff in the back, but if you move that out of the way, then it can rotate all the way around. His hips can go forward and back and out to the side. Unfortunately on mine, like they were a little bit loose on my original Kingdom Warpath, but they're a lot more loose on him. And they're not, he's not just like falling over or anything. And thankfully it's a fairly light figure, so it doesn't matter too much. But in terms of hand feel, I don't like that how much his legs can kind of swing around. But yeah, he's got a thigh swivel, like a degree under 90 degrees of bend at the knee there. And then ankle tilt, which, if you pull them out too far, it can be kind of a pain to get them back into place, as you saw earlier there. But yeah, decent little robot mode. I like that they added the extra kind of, gunmetal details on his shoulder here. Just helps him pop out a little bit. But yeah, no, pretty good looking design here in terms of comparisons in this mode. Here he is again with Kingdom Sideswipe, just that standard size comparison there. Here he is again with Kingdom Warpath and G1 Warpath. So you can see no differences in molding with him in the Kingdom version, just really literally the colors, and that's it. And then we'll bring on our other two from the set, and then our other two previous ones on here, so you can see the the full GoBots team so far. And yeah, they're a good looking group together. You know, I'm going to keep showing them off together throughout these 3 videos, but I really like the way that this looks. Again, just missing that Power Glide version of Bad Boy, and then we'll have at least the main 6 kind of completed. Like I said, there were I think that there were concepts for a Sea Spray and Beachcomber repaint, and maybe one other one. I can't totally remember, but yeah, you know, I'd be satisfied with just the 6 of them personally. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to Treds. Good figure, you know, based on a mold I'm not the biggest fan of. It's weird because honestly, in terms of the molds, this is my least favorite of them, but in terms of the way they look, I think that he's my favorite of the set, just with the new colors. I don't know. I mean, I like all 3 of them. That's definitely not a knock against the other 2. Least fun to mess with, most fun to look at, I guess, if you want to put it that way. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to them. If you enjoy my videos, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I do reviews every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And without further ado, here we have Transformers Guardians 3-pack Treds.